Hello guys, welcome back to our channel Trailhead Ranger, and today we will be completing the Superbadge Screen Flow Fundamentals Superbadge. So let's move on to the channel quickly. First I will launch my Trailhead playground, and if you want me to create a video on this, I have already created that how to create a Trailhead playground and connect it to the Superbadge challenge. So if you have any doubts on this, please let me know. I'll have the link in the description of this video for the creation of Trailhead playground and connect it to the Superbadge. So let's go back to our requirement. Our business requirement is that there is a screen flow and we need to make some changes, and our custom object for this Superbadge is resource. So let's see what they want us to do. We need to open a resource management flow. So let's quickly search for flow. And then resource management. We can see a flow has been opened up, and it's saying that we need to create a welcome screen situated between the flow start and first assignment, and the first screen should be resource management and add a description of your choosing. Okay, so we'll add the screen over here. Its name is this. We'll copy paste this resource management description, welcome screen for high foundation. Okay, now next they are saying that we need to display a welcome text. So what we'll do, we'll search for display text. We'll add the element over here, and its API name is given as welcome, and text should be this: welcome to the high foundation community. So let's click on this again, and yes, so you can see the text is visible over here. Now our next requirement is that we need to add the logo under the display text, and logo is already there. So what we'll do, we'll add the display image element and its API name is this hive logo, and image name is this, and there is one more requirement that image width should be 80%. So if you can see, it is currently occupying all the space. We'll add this over here, and it should adjust accordingly. So now we need to add radio buttons according to the requirement, and label text should be how may we help you today. So I'll copy this first, and then let's search for radio buttons. We'll add this below this, and we have our label as this: how may we help you today, and API name should be resource input, and they are saying that it should be required and do not let user select multiple options. So we will check this checkbox to make it required, that is red asterisk sign will occur over here, and let user select multiple options, no. And what choices do we have to give? That first choice should be start new resource request, and the second one should be edit existing resource request. Okay, so start new resource request, edit existing resource request. Okay. So this is visible over here. Now we need to add a text component to capture the resource name. So user should be able to type in this, so we can't use display text. Now we need to use this text element. We'll give its API name, and we will write it as label as resource name. Next is should only be visible when the user indicates they are working with an existing resource. Okay. When this existing request is not equals to null, okay, what happens? That existing request is null. Okay, so yes, it should be only visible then. Now we have flow and decided to add a way for users to see their overall progress. We have already installed the custom dynamic flow progress lightning web component. We need to add that component to the top of the screen above the welcome message with this API name. So let's search for dynamic flow progress and we need to add it above the welcome message. So yes, and API name should be this. Set the list of components to flow steps and current step should be step 1 and indicator type is should be bar. Okay, so this one is completed. Let's click on done and save as new version. Activate it and let's check for our first challenge. Okay, so there is some problem with the image. Let's see what we have missed. Okay, so we have not entered the old text which is Hive logo. I'll open the screen again, on image, done, then again save as new version, then activate it, and now let's check for the challenge again. Hopefully it should work now. Okay, another problem, we can't find a properly configured method to capture a resource name in the resource management flow welcome screen. Okay, so it is talking about this text component to for returning users with the okay, so we have made problem with this one. Okay, so we have got a mistake. Let's go to the screen again and to the text block and we need to modify this. It should be this because what they are saying is that it should only be visible when working with an existing, so it will only be visible when existing is true. So I have made that mistake, apologies for that, and I'll save it again and then activate it. Let's hope it clears this challenge now. Yes, so let's quickly move on to the second challenge, that is update assignment and s2 new resource request elements. So yes guys, in this our second challenge, our first requirement is to modify the assignment element, that is assigned resource name. So we'll open that is over here, and it is saying that we need to update the two inputs which we have entered in screen 1. So if you remember, in screen 1 we had entered resource name as this id resource name, so we'll replace it with that id resource name. And then for create or edit, we have another input, this resource input, where we had selected if we have created a new request or added the existing one. So we'll enter that. That's done. So now next step is that we need to update our S2 new resource request screen. I'll open that. In this we need to add few more features. First, a lookup component whose API name is this, so I'll just add this quickly at the end. Give it the API name. Field API name is saying that it should look up to the account object that is on the resource record. So I'll quickly go to the object manager, search for our resource object, then fields, and here we can see the field API name is this. So I'll give this, label is account, object API name is resource. That's all we have to give over here. Next is provide resources that are, we need to add a multi select picklist component to indicate the target audience. So I'll quickly copy the API name and have multi select picklist. I'll give the label as target audience, and then it is saying that its choice should be choices resource audience type. Yes. Okay, we'll click on done. I'll open the screen again because we have to make few more changes. We need to add a picklist component with this API name. Okay, type this choices resource type. Click on done. Save as new version, and we'll activate this flow. Now let's check our second challenge. If it is passes, we need to update the assignment and the screens. We are done with that. Okay, great. We are done with the second challenge. Now let's move on to the third, where we want to set up event details section. So it is saying that we need to add a section to S2 new resource request screen called as event details. So I'll open the screen again, add a section. Okay, and with section API name is event details. Okay, about yes, so we'll click on this, include a header, event details, and our API name is this. It should only be visible if the resource type is event. So we'll set the component visibility. All conditions are met, and resource type we are getting it from our pick list, that is PL resource type, when it should be equals to event. Done. Wait. And now we have, in this section we need to add a component that captures the start date and time using this API name. So we will add two columns. First we need to have start date and then we need to have end date. So I'll add this, again add this. First we'll make changes to this start date and time. Yes, and it is saying that we need to add the validation that it makes sure that end date is after the start date. So we'll copy this formula. We'll add this formula over here. Validate input, what error message we want to display. Start date is not after the end date. I'm sorry. Okay, okay, because we have not created the end date and time yet, so I'll add this later on. Date should be, you can write it anything you want. So I'll make changes to this one first, then end date. Okay, we'll copy the formula again. Yes, and make the same changes over here. Paste the formula. Now it is not showing the error. Click on done and okay, so we are done with this one. We'll save this and activate the flow, and then check our challenge. It's also completed. Now we have our fourth challenge, as we need to add resource values to the field. So let's move on to fourth challenge. That is this one. We need to configure the assign resource details element to make changes to these all fields. Okay, so this is here. Resource account, it is getting value from lookup account. Record ID, target audience is our multi-select pick list value. Resource type is our pick list value. Resource type. Start date is our this, and end date is our this. We'll again quickly save this as new version and then activate it. Now let's check our fourth challenge. That's done. Now quickly finish our fifth challenge and then we'll be able to say that we have completed our screen flow administration Superbadge. So we have our screen as 3 edit resource request screen. That is this. What is this one? Okay, yes. Placeholder text with appropriate field values in the following elements with the matching field. Primary contact name field value. Okay. So yes, our first requirement in this screen is to replace the placeholder text with these appropriate field values. So I have opened the screen and we shall remove this text and I will enter yes. First one is to have the primary contact name field value from record resource. So I will search for resource and then primary contact and its name. Second, we have its type, then again we'll search for resource and then type, and now we have resource. I'm sorry, yes, go to the resource picker, account, what's account name, yes, so it's done. Now we have next requirement that email address should not be editable. So we'll click on this field and in this read only it is saying false. So we will change it to astro that it should be only read only. Now next is we need to configure two fields to display the default values for title and description. Okay, so we'll enter this resource and we'll select its title, and similarly for description we'll select the resource and then description. Okay, so we are done with all the requirements. Let's save it as the new version, activate it, and let's check our last challenge of this Superbadge. So we have successfully completed this ScreenFlow fundamental Superbadge. So if you like this video, please like the video, comment your opinion, subscribe the channel, and I'll paste the link of this Superbadge in the description of this video as well. And also if you have any recommendation, any idea or any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section. And also you can let me know if any other Superbadge or challenge you want me to complete while making the video. I'll do that as well. Thank you. Signing off, Trailhead Ranger.